Hello and welcome to the first episode of Vintage Verified. In this series, we will be exploring various myths and misconceptions about vintage story, as well as going over basic game mechanic tutorials and general practices on how to survive. So I've had a lot of requests from people to go over the use of the Propick. So that is what we are going to be looking at today. So we have the Propick here, and we will notice that we have next to our tooltip up at the top of the screen a little icon that looks like a bunch of squiggly lines drawn inside of each other. Now that is the density search mode. So that will check a chunk to see what the chances of an ore vein being in that chunk are. Now, if you notice when I pressed F here, well, I don't know what the default button is. When I go to change the mode of this tool, I have the node search mode. So now what we need to do that, there are two different ways to get the node search mode. In single player, in multiplayer, you will need to contact the server admin if it is not available. But in single player, it's actually rather simple. So you can either use the world creation menu to set the node search mode on when you create the world, or if not, then you will need to enter a command. And the command is this: worldConfig propickNodeSearchRadius, and then we put in a number. So 8 is the maximum, 2 is the minimum for it to be effective. You can also set it at 0. But yes, this is actually double. It is doubled for what it actually does. So if we use a node search radius of 8, then it will search 17 blocks around the central block that is broken. So we will go from the center block 8 out in every direction. So once this is put in, then what you need to do is save your world and reload. Then this mode is made available. So now that I have everything set up, we should be ready to go. I have set the game mode to survival, so this is exactly, well, with the exception of the fact that I have all iron tools and a lot of meat, this is exactly how you would be going about finding something in the world. So the first thing that we want to do is locate somewhere that we can do a little bit of prospecting. So I'm going to start right here. Now we can do it in a cave or we can dig down. Either one works. So we are going to dig down a little bit and we are going to go to density search mode and we're going to break a block. Okay, so now we need 2 more samples. The next thing that we need to do is dig over a few blocks and break another one. Then dig over a few blocks in a different direction and break another one. Now these samples have to be at least 3 blocks apart. Now we can see what has come up here. So we have triangulated 2 traces of ores, relative densities, 2.6% of pentlandite, which I don't even remember what this one is, and a very poor chance of galena, which is lead. We've also found minuscule amounts of emerald, magnetite, sphalerite, halite, sulfur, lignite, and bituminous coal. That word that I can never say right. So this actually looks like it might be an interesting place to check. So what we're going to do is we are going to change our search mode to node search, and we are going to break a block and just see what we get. So it said, found the following ore nodes, galena, verified very large amounts. So we actually have lead somewhere nearby. So I actually want to show you guys how to find this when it gets to a very low, but we'll start by digging a little bit away from where we started, and we will test another spot. Now with 8 blocks, this does show a rather large area. So I went over 4 blocks. We are still verifying galena in very large amounts. So let's go ahead and just keep moving sideways. Eventually we will get to a point where this galena will no longer be very large amounts. So now we have verified medium amounts. That means we are going away from the vein. So if we go in the other direction, we'll go over here a ways and see if we can verify medium amounts over here somewhere. So we've actually verified trace amounts over here, which means it is actually closer to this side rather than that side. So we've got very large in both of these locations. So now what we're going to do is go in the other direction. So we're going to go here this direction and see what we get here. Now you don't have to go very far. So now we're just at large amounts. So let's go back the other direction, and this is what we do. We just check in both directions to see what we can find. So large amounts over there. So we're actually pretty much right on top of the vein right here. So the next thing then would be to dig up and down. Now because we are basically right on top of the vein, we will dig straight down, and there it is. So that is how you're going to find ores with the prospecting pick using the density search mode and node search mode. Now, to find some of the other ores like tin and iron, various things that you need, you're going to have to do quite a bit of the density search prospecting. So you get 1 result per chunk. So yes, if you do a test here, go 32 blocks off in a different direction, do another test. And continue to do that until you find a spot that shows a decent return for tin, or iron, or copper, or whatever ore you happen to be looking for. So that is the process for using the prospecting pick, and I hope that helps you guys out. Now, if you guys have any thoughts about me doing these videos, I would really like to hear about it down below. If you have any ideas that you would like tested, most notably myths about the game, we have several that we will be testing in upcoming videos. I would really like to hear about that. And of course, as always, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. And I will see you next time. Bye.